We've reacted to our predictions, now let's give our renewed mid-season predictions. Are you ready, Thogden?
I tell you what, my mate Big Baz is giving it this. You know why?
Why is he doing that?
Because he reckons we can't get 12,000 likes.
We could do that instantly. Smash the like button.
Let's start with champions, Theo. Who's going to win the title this year?
Here we go. Oh, you've still gone with Man City?
We disagree. I've got to ask you at this point, Theo.
Okay.
Did you only think about two teams?
For sure. It's between Arsenal and Man City now. And it's only in the last few weeks I'm now fully convinced it's Arsenal. You can't ignore the history. City have been the champions for the last 5 years.
You use the words fully convinced. Now, I'll tell you what I think. I reckon this title race will come down to one game and one goal. I think it's going to be wafer thin.
The last game week, you reckon?
It could well be, yes. Arsenal have got to play Man City twice, and it's all down to those two games because the gap is 5 points. Arsenal have got a game in hand.
Yeah.
I guess the bookies are now saying Arsenal, but my goodness, don't write off Manchester City.
I just think it's been a different kettle of fish for the Gunners this year. You saw the way they went to Tottenham. They've got a full palette of skill set now as well with Leandro Trossard who's come in. What he demands from the team early on in both halves. The way they go to Tottenham, they score, they get another, they come away with 3 points like it's easy, like they do it every year. No, they haven't done that since 2015. They're breaking records this year, and I can't see Arsenal bottling it enough, because if anyone's bottling it, it's City.
Arsenal have been spectacular over 19 games, but what worries me is the lack of strength in depth. The City bench is superb, and there are players like Jack Grealish who've been bench players who are coming good at the right time.
I don't think the Grealish is going to be different to this title race. Let's look at how much it means to the fans. Go inside the Etihad or the Emirates this season. Which are the ones fired up every game? Who does it mean to more? I think because City have won it 4 times already in the last 5 years, the fans can't get behind them game per game as much. Arteta, he's the underdog. He's doing it against his old mate, and the fans are so behind him. How connected is Saka, Martinelli, Ødegaard? They love it. They want to do it for the crowd. Everything's going in the right direction for them, and that's why I'm backing Arsenal.
Erling Haaland or Nketiah, Erling Haaland or Jesus. No, this is key.
You can't say that.
Got one of the best goal scorers in the world at Man City right now. That could be the difference.
People say they don't have a good enough bench to compare with Man City. I've seen enough rotation that's good enough. Zinchenko's come in. The rotation works. Tomiyasu's ready to come off the bench if need be. For Ben White, they could probably do with one more central midfielder, one more world-class, Premier League winner-esque player. Tell us in the comments who you back more. It's going to be very close. It's top 4, and here we go.
Wow, we agree, Theo. Now, we've not looked at each other's notes. What I want to know, did you even think about Brighton, Brentford, Fulham?
I did at one stage, but you see the dominance of the likes of Chelsea and Liverpool, who will start to pick up points. I think they'll find it hard to cope against that competition. One thing's though for sure, I do not think Liverpool or Chelsea will have enough of an edge to get into this front 4, and it's because Newcastle, in the form that they're in, is incredible. Manchester United under Ten Hag revitalised, and the top 2, we've already argued against it, and we agree they're going to have their own battle going for the Premier League title.
Don't you think the likes of Newcastle are running on fumes? They are overachieving. We'll talk more about them later.
Yeah.
Chelsea and Liverpool 10 points behind, massive resources, billion-dollar squads. Can't they make up 10 points on Newcastle?
I actually think it's going to go down to the wire between Liverpool and Newcastle for 4th place.
And you've not talked about Spurs there. How can you bet against Harry Kane? Heung-min Son, of course, he's not been great yet, but maybe he'll have a good second half. Kulusevski, Bentancur, Højbjerg, some great players in there. Surely, if they get a bit of consistency, they can make the top 4.
Tottenham have all the qualities. Harry Kane is one of the best goal scorers in the world. When Kulusevski's back to his best, Bentancur soon to be in that midfield, they will get results. But will it be enough to compete? I don't know. And my doubt for that football club is the pressures that are rising of getting top 4. They need to get a Champions League spot more than anyone else, because if they don't, Harry Kane will get offers from Real Madrid, maybe from Manchester United, a top 4 club. Antonio Conte will probably leave. There's already rumours that he's going to. They will continue to do the chants about Levy. It will get even worse with the Tottenham ownership and the board situation. When there's that many negatives around a football club, you're not going to be on the same level as the super positive Newcastle right now, and Liverpool looking to change it around under Klopp. That's what it comes down to me.
Yes, we agree on the top 4.
Yeah, we agree. Thogdad, what is your reasoning for not picking Liverpool or Chelsea in the top 4?
10 points behind, but also, Theo, I watch Liverpool, I think they're going to ship goals. I watch Chelsea, and I think they're not going to score goals. Now, let's go to the other end of the table and talk about the bottom 3, shall we, Theo?
And these are our answers.
We've agreed again.
We do.
That's not very interesting, is it?
No, it's the probable answer.
But Theo, surely it's 3 from 8, isn't it? I mean, the likes of Wolverhampton Wanderers, 12 goals all season, I think 4 wins. That is not the sort of form that keeps you up.
For me, the reason I've protected Wolves is I believe in Lopetegui and his ambition at the club. At Sevilla, he won a Europa League. He's a European trophy winner. His record in Spain, he got 90 wins out of 170 games. Very positive outcome. I think he'll make it work. My question for you is, Dad, we've gone for the same bottom 3, which includes Everton.
Yes.
Why have you put Everton to go down? Because they're not... I know everything's going wrong, but they could definitely survive with a couple wins.
For a long time, Theo, I assumed they'd survive, and I'm honest to myself, it's because they've been in the First Division, or the Premier League as it's now called, forever. So for historical reasons, I thought they must stay up. I look at their squad, I look at their fixtures, and I think, no chance. I've put them rock bottom based upon form, based upon squad, based upon the atmosphere amongst the fans, amongst the players. I think it is horrible at that club
and it's actually such a shame as well, because the fans want to survive probably more than Bournemouth and Southampton fans.
Everton Football Club is a very special club, and this is not a great thing for football that they're going down. But talking about great clubs, West Ham United, the next 3 fixtures, Theo, Newcastle away, Chelsea at home, Spurs away, are they going to stay up?
Tough one, but after their positive result, Jared Bowen brace 2-0 win over Everton, they showed they're not there for a relegation fight. David Moyes proves he's a level above that. I am not putting them to go down. There was moments in the last few weeks where I thought I might speak of it, but not anymore. I've seen positivity, and I think they will grind out some results at Olympic Stadium. And I can't believe we're talking from European football last year to all of a sudden maybe in the bottom 3.
Leeds United. They've actually got 2 games against Man United in the space of 4 days.
They do.
It's going to be close, surely.
But that's almost not a derby, but it's a big rivalry. You never know what can happen on the day. But Leeds will be fired up, and they might sneak something. Jesse Marsch has enough passion. The team have enough qualities. They made some great business in January. They signed a lad from Hoffenheim, the forward, who did quite well there. I don't know too much about him. I'm not going to pretend like I've watched him every week. Another team I predict they'll be okay is Nottingham Forest. And it all comes down to Steve Cooper. Apparently he calls his players on the regular, checks up on them, asks how they're feeling. He cares about them. And the fact he picked up Nottingham Forest, they had a slump from the Premier League, something like 23 years they weren't in the First Division. He's come in when they were at the bottom of the Championship table. He got them up very quickly, and now he lost all his players because they were loan deals. They were quite clever in the business in Championship. Then in the Premier League, he lost his best boys like Jed Spence. The list goes on. He brought almost 22 new players and still made it work in the most competitive league in the world, and it's thanks to him.
Great manager, players really playing for the fans, for the manager, and good form. So the wind is going the right way for Nottingham Forest.
The next topic, Player of the Year. Here we go.
And I told you last night I've chosen a player from Leeds.
No, you haven't. You picked Haaland. Oh, I see what you've done there.
See what I did there?
Such a mug.
I mean, let's talk about this player. He's played 19 times this season. He's scored 25 goals. Wherever he goes, he breaks records. He is sensational, isn't he?
Yeah, we're halfway through the season. He's on 25 goals. He's probably going to break the Premier League record. It's not even probable. It's almost a 90% probability chance now at this point. Provided he stays injury-free, he's breaking all sorts of records, and no one's done this in this modern era. Just to go for his goals per game, his stat is 1.45 goals per 90, okay? The nearest to that, second place, best in the league, is 0.77, Harry Kane. And most years, we're already looking under 1. We're always looking under 1. Somehow, Haaland is breaking the ceiling, and I feel bad for Martin Odegaard, because he would be a really good suggestion for Player of the Year, especially if Arsenal go on to win the league.
His creativity, his confidence is truly amazing for a young lad.
And he's the top goal scorer, he's a silent leader, he's the captain. You know, he's got a great team around him. Saka, Martinelli, both on 7 goals. Saka's got 7 assists as well. Everything's just gelling perfectly in that front line. But let's talk about Haaland, because even if City don't win the league, we've still got to say Erling Haaland to be the best player, right?
Absolutely, Theo. There's just no one you could sensibly put out there. I mean, Kevin De Bruyne is having a great season. You could talk about Kieran Trippier if you wanted a defender.
Yeah.
But that is just to fill space, isn't it? Because Erling Haaland is so far above the competition.
But let's make this interesting, Dad. New topic, Young Player of the Year. Who was on your mind? Oh, we've both gone with Saka.
It has to be, doesn't it, Theo? 19 games. He's played in every single game, and that is key. And it was the same last season. He always turns up to play, doesn't he? Never disappears. 7 goals, 7 assists. So you've got the creativity, you've got the goals, you've got everything from this lad. He's great to watch. You know, he makes fans go to the stadium and enjoy their football. Yeah,
he's incredible, and it's the 7 goals, 7 assists, 14 contributions in 19 games. And if Arsenal win the Premier League, he plays a massive factor in that achievement. He's got one of the most contributions in the league. A few special mentions to, like, if Ferguson keeps producing for Brighton up top, he's very young and it's a big judgment to do, but if he can continue the same goal per game record he's completing, that would be an amazing achievement.
And now for Manager of the Year, Theo. Who've we gone for? Oh my goodness, we've gone different.
Nice to go
That
different.
is interesting. Now, talk me through your choice, Theo.
We were agreeing too much. That's why I've changed it. Mikel Arteta, if he wins the Premier League, in my eyes, this is one of the best managerial achievements with the squad that he has since Claudio Ranieri won it with Leicester City. Even if they just get Champions League this year, he deserves this trophy. Even if they finish second. Because that team should be nowhere near it. The ambition, the determination to keep the morale so positive. And it comes down to more than just Arteta. It's actually the whole club. Everyone that wants to work for Arsenal is proud to right now. You see the improvements they've done around the stadium with the little art in front of the ground. You see the Ashburton Army, the passion they put into that section. They're always singing, always proud to be a Gunner. It's everything. It's the fans, it's the staff, it's the players who want to make a comeback. Gabriel Jesus is still attending every game even though he's injured. You can just feel that everything is positive and it goes down to a good manager. Mikel Arteta, you learn well from Pep, and now you're going to beat him to it. That's my manager of the year.
I've gone for Marco Silva, and
I
I'll
can't
tell you
believe
why.
you picked that.
And I'll tell you why. They've got one of the least valuable squads in the division. They've got players like Tim Ream, who's 35, he's worth €1 million.
They've also got the oldest team,
What Marco Silva's done, he's got the best out of Mitrovic.
Yeah.
He's got the best out of other players like will.i.am. It's absolutely brilliant what's being achieved at Craven Cottage.
And maybe we don't credit Fulham, Brentford, Brighton enough for what they're doing this season. If we go back to our pre-season predictions, we both put Fulham 18th, relegated, and now they're up for manager of the year because they're sitting in potentially a Europa League spot.
And that's what it's all about, and that's why football is so amazing there. We roasted ourselves yesterday, but you know what? Every single pundit, whether they're a YouTuber or a Gary Neville or whatever, got this season really wrong.
I can't believe neither of us put Eddie Howe though. We've got to respect him more. Or De Zerbi at Brighton, the way he's come in and just, you thought the form would drop off the Potter, even Souness was hating, and you see him just take it to another level. And our final topic in our mid-season Premier League predictions is Dark Horse, and this is all about how many positions can they jump up in the Premier League table from January all the way to May. Here we go.
Oh, interesting. Now, I'm interested by that Liverpool theory. Now,
Yes.
I want you to talk me through this.
Okay.
Why will Liverpool suddenly come good mid-season?
Well, the team's currently a mess. We don't know what the ownership situation is going to be. Jurgen Klopp doesn't know which 11 he's going to play tomorrow, next week, week after. Because there's so many injuries, there's so many issues within that squad. Luis Diaz as well, when he's fighting for his spot. Firmino, how key is he? Even not in the 11, but in the dressing room because he's been there for years. When you lose Sadio Mane, you need to remember, you need to keep key compartments of that team to make the dressing room still gel, and they miss that right now. And I actually think that Mo Salah, Fabinho, these sort of players are going to get back to their best. Trent Alexander-Arnold too. When they have the first teamers, that's when I see Liverpool jump from 9th, and I think they'll finish 5th in the Premier League.
Will the midfield problems be sorted out? Will the defence stop leaking goals? I looked at the stat. No, I looked at the stat. You know who's had to make the 4th most saves this season? Alisson. Liverpool are having to make saves.
But do you know why? Because James Milner's playing right back. Joe Gomez is coming back into the team with low match fitness, playing next to Konate. Virgil van Dijk is injured. They've lost all their best players. Why have you picked Unai Emery's Claret and Blue to be the team to step up? They're already 11th. They're in a good spot.
Well, you've mentioned one of the reasons, Unai Emery, Theo.
Okay.
So you brought in a new manager with proven experience. Look at the form table. Aston Villa over the last 6 games are 5th in the form table. They've got a good squad. They've got a squad which is worth almost exactly the same as Newcastle United.
They lost Danny Ings now.
They have Theo, and they've got Ollie Watkins. So yes, I know that there are some variables.
So who's part of this jump up? Is Coutinho going to make a return to his best?
It's really sad, the fall off, the drop off of Coutinho's form. And I said it yesterday, back in his day, he was one of the best players in the world. There's the likes of Bailey and Buendia. I do like Ollie Watkins. I think it's a good squad. I think it's a really good manager.
7th would be a big jump from 11th though, and it gives you a good reason for your prediction.
I'm going for 7th.
Comment below who's going to be the dark horse of the tournament. Answer these topics in the comments section. Let us know who you agree with more. Thank you for watching this video. Thogdad.
I tell you what though, don't forget the likes and the
Big John.
subscribe.
Big John asked for 12,000 likes.
He asked for 12,000. When
So
Big
provide
John
that.
wants something, you give it.
See you later.